Planet Zoo, everybody. Frontier, the developers behind such games as Elite Dangerous and Planet Coaster, were so kind to invite me to a showcase of Planet Zoo during GamesCom. Now, we sat down for about an hour or so to take a look at their new game. Now, I've played quite a lot of Planet Coaster, and this game by itself seems to be a really strong iteration on that particular concept. Even though the original Planet Coaster, I felt, whilst aesthetically pretty incredible, but also in terms of being able to build coasters and rides, etc., super flexible, was something that I was incredibly keen on. However, the management side of the game was something that I felt was a little bit flat. Now, what I saw from Planet Zoo is a fairly similar approach, except there's a lot more micromanagement going on, and that's something that really came over from Jurassic Park Evolution, which is another title by Frontier. A lot of managing animals and managing enclosures and that sort of thing, mixed with the aesthetic part of Planet Coaster, really makes for a very solid experience, at least from what I've seen so far. Like I said, 1 hour is clearly not enough to do anything here, but we're just going to go through some of the content that I saw during this particular showcase, just to, talk about some of the features that are in this upcoming title that I will most likely be playing, because, Florida Man is definitely looking forward to turn a zoo into a giant gator swamp. So yeah, Planet Zoo is what you get when you take Planet Coaster, strip out the coasters and the rides, replace them with the animals, at least some of the animal mechanics of Zoo Tycoon as well as Jurassic Park, and no, you didn't. You get this. It's very curious. I really find it interesting on what I've seen with a lot of creative ways of setting up enclosures and stuff like that, and get a lot of money because, well, for instance, in this particular case, I got baboons over here, and they need apparently something to play on, and that means that, we can do some interesting stuff already. Now, it's probably important to note that this is not final code or release code. This is definitely a preview build. So all sorts of funny things are definitely possible. So yeah, there's a stick, we'll just move that away, etc. But oh boy, does this have a lot of potential for pure hilarity. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it also has potential for just sitting back and relax and managing a zoo and just chilling out, say like an open TTD game sort of thing, where you just build stuff like trains and just do things. It's very much in key with the Planet Coaster mindset, where you got all these actors. Every single person has their own, at least every single visitor has their own wallet and their own desire to see things, etc. So there are always going to be things that they would like to see, and they all got their own demands. Unlike, say, Jurassic Park Evolution, where they were basically just cardboard cutouts running around, which I thought was a little bit disappointing. What's also a little bit disappointing is that I didn't really see any real interaction with the guests and any animals that got out, which I thought was a little bit of a missed opportunity. Like, who does not want to see a breakout of an animal, which you then need to manage to make sure that, that the rides don't eat the guests, so to speak. Thank you, Mr. Ian Malkin, for making that quote a reality. Of course, also Michael Crichton. Still, though, overall, from what is possible in this game is basically creating the zoo of your dreams. Now, I'm not gonna lie, making the zoo of your dreams, I've been going to zoos for quite some time, and seeing this is something that, it tickles the right aspect for me. Like, going to a lot of zoos in my life and seeing a lot of animals, seeing a lot of different enclosures. The Berlin Zoo, for instance, which used to be basically a giant concrete box with some polar bears inside of it, versus, say, the Chester Zoo in England, which I thought was really nice, with a lot of glass and a big tiger that you see in the middle of a big enclosure, and the only people there, and he looks straight at you, and you think by yourself, I'm gonna die here today. So yeah, that's probably some sort of analog there. But yeah, Planet Zoo, there's all such things like managing enclosures, but also staffing and stuff like that. That was a big thing in Planet Coaster, where shops and things like that needed to be dressed up. That's definitely a thing here as well. It is basically an iteration. Now, Frontier has done quite a lot of animal-based stuff in the past with Connectimals, as well as Zoo Tycoon, etc. So when it comes to animals, they all behave fairly realistic. You can also, of course, sell them, make a breeding program or something along those lines. Put them in snow if you really want to. I thought that was a nice little addition. Hey, let's put some grass over here because they don't like what's going on here. There's not enough long grass? Sure, we'll just replace all of this sand with grass. And of course, it costs money, but we have unlimited money here because, oh god, there's snow everywhere and it's gone because we're playing in a savanna biome. So yeah, one of the big things that I thought was a little bit disappointing, as I already said, was the lack of interaction between the various animals, their keepers, as well as the visitor agents that are running around the map. They very much exist in two separate universes where they, from what I've seen so far at least, is very limited interaction, like this here cub that decides to sit underneath the map a little bit. There we go. But yeah, being able to having people being able to directly interact with the exhibits would, for me, really bring it up towards the next level, which is obviously a little bit disappointing. But hey, we can at least increase temperature in particular areas of the map, so that's nice. So yeah, alpha gameplay and all that. So maybe we're gonna see that animal interaction at some point. Who knows? But I really wish that was the case, at least in this particular version. Now, obviously, there is management like cleaning the pools and making sure the exhibits are at the right temperature, and that costs power, which you then need to change. You can set the day-night cycle, etc. What the kind of temperature the map is going to be. Now, like I mentioned before, this is a savanna map, so having snow, it's not going to be sitting on the ground for very long, but it's always fun to play with, especially when you want to do some sort of zoo doomsday scenario. Now, I experimented a little bit during the gameplay session, putting multiple animals of different types in multiple enclosures. I didn't really see all that much. I tried to put a giant giraffe inside of the tiger enclosure. Didn't see too much interaction there. I doubt that it would be a very positive experience for anything involved. But then again, I also played quite a lot of Jurassic Park Evolution, and those animals, if they were in the right enclosure, would rip each other to shreds. Now, I don't know what the age rating of this game is going to be, so they may want to avoid that sort of approach. But I'm sure there's all sorts of hilarious ways to make the game a bit more interesting beyond the management of a zoo aspect. Because in the end, it's animals in an enclosure, right? If this is something that you want to play, then go right ahead. It's a creation sandboxy experience for anybody that wants to play this sort of thing. For me, however, I would like to see a little bit more interaction between the animals and everything else surrounding the environment. Now, for instance, what is going on over here? Can the animals break into these little keeper huts, for instance? So there you go. There's the staff hut. We can zoom in probably a little bit more. Can we go inside? Oh yeah. So preparation, all that stuff. People can look inside of these if they are in the park and watch things for entertainment value. Basically, your average stuff that you would see in your normal zoo as well. So the depth is definitely there. There is quite a lot of depth to everything. It's very well dressed up. But I'm kind of worried that we're going to see a similar thing that we also had in Planet Coaster, where the management aspect of everything is a little bit shallow. But time would tell. Again, this is an alpha build of Planet Zoo. If you're interested in this particular game, it will be coming out on November 5th of 2019, and I'm definitely gonna give it a go myself. I'm very curious on how everything is going to come together, because I love beautiful management games like this myself. But the real question is it going to be deep enough to catch my interest in the long term? Or am I going to play this for 10 hours? Am I going to play this for 5 hours? Is this going to be a Stellaris type of game where I played for over 2,000 hours? That is the question. So yeah, Planet Zoo. Thank you so much for Frontier for inviting me to their gameplay session at Gamescom. They do not pay me for this. This is all at my own violation. And we're going to go and wrap this one up here. Don't you worry, Stellaris will, of course, continue. I want to just get something else out of the way for once. You know, it's just, I'm getting a little bit burned out on that game. I need something else in my life. So yeah, maybe we'll see some Planet Zoo in the future. Who knows? But until next time, take good care of yourselves. And of course, that rhino at the start, because it got turned into a box. And going full, you never go full Pokemon.